Hi beautiful souls, today's video is going to be a little different from what I usually make because we are going to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry and assigning zodiac signs to Harry Potter characters. I'm quite a big fan of Harry Potter, having read and watched all the series a couple times, and I thought it would be totally crazy to just do this with you. So for each zodiac sign, I'll be matching them with one female and one male Harry Potter character so that we can include more characters in this video. Alright, let's do it. When I think of the brave and independent Aries, who can at times also be a bit rough around the edges, the character that comes to mind is Sirius Black, Harry Potter's godfather, who was framed for the murder of Harry's parents and sent to Azkaban prison. When he escaped, he immediately went looking for Harry and became like a friend to him, encouraging Harry to fight against Lord Voldemort. Oops, did I just say his name? Rather than being overly protective, he saw the adventurous side and fighter spirit in Harry and supported that. As for the female Aries version, I think of Ginny Weasley, Ron Weasley's younger sister, who eventually ended up marrying Harry Potter after having had a crush on him for years. We could see that throughout her growth from a little girl to a teenager, she always had this inner fire in her, and her dueling abilities are amazing. She's very loyal at heart and would fight alongside Harry and his friends to death. Not to mention, I personally think Ginny likes a bit of a chase. Her being the one to tease and chase Harry, of course, throughout her time at Hogwarts. When I think of the relaxed, balanced, and tactful Libras, I think of Remus Lupin, Defense Against Dark Arts teacher in the third book, who is also James and Sirius's best friend, and also is a werewolf. Lupin acted as Harry's go-to counselor in his third year, giving him one-to-one tutoring of the Patronus spell. He was calm, patient, and really had the ability to bring Harry's loving memory of his mother back to life. Of course, that's before he turned into a werewolf, the Libra's shadow side. The female version had me think of Fleur Delacour, a French quarter villa from Beauxbaton's Academy of Magic. In case you aren't familiar with villas, they are semi-human magical beings, beautiful woman with white gold hair and skin that shines, in the moonlight. But when angry, villas take on a less pleasant experience, having elongated face and long scaly wings bursting from their shoulders. Libras, being ruled by Venus, are usually quite physically attractive and charming and even elegant. When I think of the strong silent type, good-looking yet humble and modest Taurus, I think of Victor Krum, a seeker for the Bulgarian national Quidditch team and student from Durmstrang's Institute, who had a major crush on Hermione Granger in the fourth book when they visited Hogwarts for the Triwizard Tournament. He was described to be a famous seeker who never really wanted the spotlight and preferred to have a low profile. As for the female Taurus, I think of Professor Mcgonagall, who teaches Transfiguration and is head of the Gryffindor house and deputy headmistress of Hogwarts. I really see her loyalty to Albus Dumbledore being the thing that gives her her position at Hogwarts. She also has a really badass side underneath that very put-together exterior, which I'm sure she can probably kill someone if she's really angered. When I think of the mysterious, obsessive dark Scorpio, of course, who would fit this archetype more than Severus Snape, Hogwarts potions teacher and head of the Slytherin house, who at first intimidates and scares Harry, but only as a form of resentment and revenge for his inner wound created by Harry's father, who bullied Snape when he was younger. Nonetheless, his secret love for Lily Potter is what holds him back from doing any harm to Harry, and his loyalty to Dumbledore, even if it means he has to kill Dumbledore, when Dumbledore was, kind of already weak and fading away, to protect Harry. This tells me that, like Scorpios, Snape would go to the extreme and endure the pain to protect those he loves. For the female Scorpio, I think of Madame Pomfrey, matron and the most competent nurse there is at Hogwarts, who uses her magic to instantly and comprehensively heal those physically hurt. I could say that she's quite focused and obsessed with her craft, and she's at the top of her game. When I think of the mischievous, intelligent, dualistic personality of the Gemini, I think of no one else but Draco Malfoy, Slytherin, and Harry's rivalry in his school days. Now, you may disagree with me on this, but I think that what makes Draco a Gemini is that although he's highly competent in many things like flying and Quidditch, witty use of words, and social skills, he is under a lot of pressure from his family and is easily influenced by them. Until towards the end of, the last book, that he managed to escape all of that and take a stand for what he believes is right. Then he became friends with Harry. In other words, the duality of the Geminis allowed Draco to turn good from, well, pretty bad. As for the female Gemini, I think of Rita Skeeter, a witch journalist who specialized in writing poison pen stories, which are used for the purpose of highly sensationalist stories based very little on fact. She has these charming but mischievous plans when she interviews her subjects. But I think Rita Skeeter will always remain in our eyes a comedic character who adds a bit of an unexpected and humorous side to the seriousness of the main plot of the Harry Potter story. When I think of the adventurous, free-spirited, and fun Sagittarius, of course I think of Fred and George Weasley, Ron Weasley's elder twin brothers who have never found it possible to follow school rules, such as going to classes, for the fact that there is a big world out there that they'd rather explore and people out there that they'd rather play pranks on. They co-founded and ran a joke shop called Weasley's Wizard Wheezes and take on life with a carefree attitude. That, however, does not mean they aren't willing to stay loyal to the morally right thing, like fighting in Dumbledore's army against Voldemort. For the female Sagittarius, I think of Nymphadora Tonks, who was married to Remus Lupin and is a metamorphomagus, a witch or wizard who can change their appearance at will. Back in her school days, she had a habit of metamorphosing into Hogwarts teachers for fun, alongside hundreds of her other very sneaky pranks on teachers before she became an Auror, fighting against dark wizards. When I think of the kind, emotional, and personal Cancers, I definitely think of Ronald Weasley, Harry Potter's best friend, who remains loyal to him throughout his life. Well, maybe except for when Harry was selected as a Triwizard Champion, and well, Ron might have been a little subjective and jealous. But we all know Ron's never really been the kind of person who could really harm anybody. He's sweet and soft on the inside and just needs a little assurance from his loved ones. He eventually comes around. As for the female Cancer, I think of Professor Sybil Trelawney, a Ravenclaw and divination professor who made the prophecy of Voldemort and Harry, that, one can't live while the other survives, and this might have been her most powerful, yet only accurate prediction. But I really see the Cancer's more psychic and mediumistic side coming out in Professor Trelawney, and the fact that she never leaves Hogwarts grounds, as it is her home, like she literally has nowhere to go if she leaves Hogwarts, gives her even more of a Cancer vibe. When I think of a positive, motivating authority figure, like a Capricorn, I think of Professor Albus Dumbledore, headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. He sets the rule, he's wise, he's at the top of his game. He is the headmaster, and he always has such good judgment about what's right and wrong. But on the flip side, there's the negative, ruthless, and power-hungry Capricorn, authority figure like Dolores Umbridge, who, when had the chance, stepped up as the headmaster of Hogwarts when Dumbledore was away. She used her power ruthlessly by executing cruel punishments for the slightest misbehavior, such as having students' hands tattooed and using Verita's serum, a truth serum, on the students. She also loved cats. Don't all Capricorns love cats? I think J.K. Rowling intentionally meant to make Harry Potter himself a Leo, being born on July 31st, and then giving him traits like courageous, loyal, self-assured, and part of the Gryffindor house. But I think what makes Harry a true Leo is his leadership abilities. And even though he appears shy at times, we can always see that Harry does well in the spotlight. For example, as the one who leads Dumbledore's army. And he's always the one leading the trio in their adventures. As for the female Leo, I think of Molly Weasley, Ron Weasley's mother, who portrays the more family-orientated, children-loving, and warm Leo side. But her fiery spirit is what makes her protective and willing to fight for and do anything for her children. I would take Molly Weasley to be the kind of woman who, if you challenge her, you'd be prepared to lose. When I think of the eccentric humanitarian Aquarius, I definitely think of Arthur Weasley, Ronald Weasley's father, who works in the Ministry of Magic and has a high interest in muggles, non-witches and wizards. He was a huge believer and advocate of equality between magical and non-magical beings. I think the fact that he purchased a muggle ford, which we saw in the second book and movie, and bewitched it to fly, speaks of one of the eccentric things he does. So I was actually deciding between Pisces and Aquarius for Luna Lovegood, but decided to settle with Aquarius because I believe her to be more intellectual than emotional. And she does have interest in, well, anything strange. And she's been described in the book as slightly strange and off-putting herself. But you know what? I don't think Luna gives a damn what anyone thinks of her. For the shy, modest, helpful Virgos, I think of Cedric Diggory, prefect and captain of the Hufflepuff Quidditch team and Hufflepuff House. During the Triwizard Tournament, Cedric and Harry kind of formed an ally. He even gave Harry tips on opening the golden egg, which was the clue for the second task. He's extremely kind-hearted and shows sympathy for Harry when he told his Hufflepuff mates not to wear these badges that insulted Harry. I myself am really sad that he died. And who else is going to portray a more female Virgo better than Hermione Granger? I really see Cedric being more of the kind-hearted Virgo, while Hermione the more intellectual side of Virgos. She's at the top of her class, wisest in her year, highly productive, studious, mature, and proper in her ways. I mean, would Hermione Granger ever break the rules? No. Well, except when she broke into the Ministry of Magic. And last but not least, the compassionate, naive, animal-loving Pisces as Professor Rubeus Hagrid, half-giant and teacher of Care of Magical Creature Studies. As we all know, Hagrid would never hurt a fly. He even has a giant pet spider Aragog that he cares for. But, you know, the goodness of his heart, which extends to all creatures, can sometimes put him and other people in danger, unintentionally, of course. As for the female Pisces, I think of Chang, Harry's love interest in his 4th and 5th year at Hogwarts, who later was considered to have betrayed Harry when her best friend betrayed Dumbledore's army and she defended her. During her relationship with Harry, she never really quite got over her former boyfriend Cedric Diggory and was kind of talking about him a lot. Well, there you have it, guys. Zodiac signs as Harry Potter characters. If there are any other Harry Potter characters that you can think of that would match any of these zodiac signs, please leave them in the comments below. And yes, I am still continuing with the moon sign series. The Sagittarius moon is next and will be coming up in a few days. That's all for today. Have a wonderful day. Please like and subscribe if you like this video, and subscribe to see more contents on astrology. Thank you so much for everyone who has currently been subscribed to the channel and been coming along on these astrology journeys with me. Bye!